Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are celebrating Eid al-Adha with you in this very special edition of Women's World. And today we decided to talk about nutrition and how to stay healthy and fit during Eid al-Adha, especially that we traditionally eat meat during Eid al-Adha. So in order to know more about it, we're very much delighted to have with us here in the studio Dr. Manar Hassan, pharmacist and nutritionist. Thank you very much, Dr. Manar, for coming, and happy Eid to you.
Happy Eid to you too.
Now, to start with, the general nutritional advice that you would give us during Eid al-Adha.
Because of Eid, this year is coming in a very hot weather, so we have to stay hydrated and drink a lot of water. And traditional Egyptian drinks like hibiscus, like licorice, dome, these are the best to be drunk in Eid.
Okay. When is the best time to eat?
During the morning, all the day long, but avoid eating at night, because you know the circadian rhythm that guards makes your hormones and digestive system works is all about eating at the daytime.
Okay, so what type of food should we start with?
We should start by eating salads, high fibers in vegetables, steamed one, that will give us the satiation feeling, and then ending by meat.
Okay. What is the recipe to have the least amount of fat, especially that we tend to eat fattah, fried meat, so...
Try to avoid fried meats.
Okay.
Actually, it's best to start cooking from early morning, so that you finish and put the meat and the soup in the fridge. Give it like 2 hours to make a layer of fat so that you can remove it, and then recook it again. This way you will have the least amount of fat.
Okay. Some people tend to eat grilled meat.
Yeah, that's very okay, but
yes.
Try not to have the grilled oils with if you are using coal or something. Just avoid it.
Okay, so what is the best way to do it?
In a grill. In a grill.
Okay. What are the best spices to aid the digestion process?
We have very nice spices to use for digestion. It's like ginger, curcumin, rosemary, and dill. Of course, garlic. All of these, they help us digesting food.
Powder garlic and powder or fresh?
I prefer fresh ones.
Okay.
Because you are seeing it yourself. It's not doing something chemicals in it or something.
Okay. What is the recipe for having a healthier fattah, because fattah is a tradition for Egyptians. Let's agree on that.
Yes, sure.
Fattah is part of Eid al-Adha for us.
Yes, we wait Eid every
Egyptians. Now, for me, I try to eat the rice with the sauce and bread, and I don't eat the meat.
Great.
For me. But is there any other way to have less fatty fattah?
Yes. For me, myself, I replace bread with some nuts.
Nice idea.
Yes, very nutritious and very little carbs in it. Or if for my family, I use the brown rice.
Okay.
So it's always very nutritious, has a lot of vitamin B12 in it, and it doesn't rise the glycemic index and insulin abruptly.
Okay.
About the sauce itself, it's very nutritious. You can use the tomato, the very natural one. You do it at home like a sauce or... and that's it. And the garlic is very nutritious. So fattah is very nice. It's very healthy.
The problem
this
is
way.
this way.
Yes.
But the problem is many of us suffer from bloating after, because we eat a lot, and many of us suffer, especially if they are fasting during the day, and they get directly to the fattah. So what to do about bloating?
About bloating, at first we have to stop drinking soda while we are eating, because soda has carbon dioxide. When it goes to the stomach, It makes it takes some of the digested food and some of the gastric acid with it, so you feel heartburn. So just stop using soda at all. Eat very slowly. You have to chew your food while eating. Not eat a lot.
Some people advise also drinking ripe milk.
Yeah, it's very nutritious. It's a very good idea.
And yogurt is part of
Yes, it's
our
like
traditional fattah, so perhaps that could help too.
yes, it might be a very good idea to use yogurt with fattah.
Okay. What is the most nutritional type of meat?
Actually, we have lamb and sheep. These are the most nutritious type, because you know, lamb is the young one. It's less than 1 year old sheep. Sheep is the parent. It has a very specific kind of fat that's unsaturated. It's burned very quickly, and it doesn't cause any clots in the arteries. It has omega-3, which is very nutritious. Also, it has a lot of vitamins, like vitamin 1, B1, 3, and 12 that help with your skin. Also, it has a lot of zinc, which is very important for the growth of the tissues and fighting disease, like increasing immunity. Also iron, which fights anemia. And these two minerals from an animal source are very important because it facilitates its absorption. It's much better to have it from animals than plants.
Okay.
The very special thing also about lamb meat is it has a compound called carnitine. People who are bodybuilders know it very well because it helps changing the fat content into muscles or into mitochondria. Mitochondria is the battery of the cell.
Okay.
So it helps changing fat into muscles, which is very good idea.
Of course.
Also, lamb meat has a very specific thing that the kind of amino acids in it helps suppress the appetite. You also may notice that you can't eat a lot of this kind of meat because it suppresses the appetite really. That's it.
What kind of, or what part of the meat is actually healthier with less fats?
Actually, we have the limbs are the least of fat, then shoulders, then the other cubes.
Okay. And any other part? This is...
yes, these are the best that have the very least amount of fat.
Okay. Any advice, Dr. Manar, for people suffering from gout?
Oh, yes. I advise them to take veal meat, which has a very suitable for them. They can also increase the intake of caffeine, like in coffee and tea. For them, the best fruits are those least of fructose, because you know fructose is metabolized into uric acid. So the one that is very suitable for them is to have banana and cherries. Cherries work very good for them.
Okay. Any way that we can actually control calories during Eid? Is there any specific way to do it?
You said socializing, going out, walking a lot, and not always thinking about Eid is just eating.
Yes.
You know, and when it comes to the time we eat, we limit the quantities by putting in a special plate and go out away of the kitchen and
try to avoid the kitchen for the moment.
Yes, sure.
Okay. For children, any specific advice for children, because their needs
Yes.
are different from adults because they are growing up. So
Of
how
course,
to how to provide proper nutrition for our kids during Eid?
wallahi, the best thing is to keep them away of desserts and replacing desserts by fruits. All the fruits are very, very nutritious and better than desserts. And they also need a lot of meats, of course, for protein.
But they do want something beside meat. So what are the healthier tips in that case?
Actually, as we said, nuts may be a very good option instead of chips and these things. So you have to replace it with nuts. Replace desserts, as we said, by fruits with different content, and that's it.
What about pregnant women, Dr. Manar? Any specific health or nutritional tips for pregnant women?
Okay, for any special needs or any cases like a pregnant woman, she has to have her own nutritionist to tell her what are the things
according to her body index.
Sure, sure.
Okay, I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Manar Hassan, pharmacist and nutritionist. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you for the healthy tips you gave us.
I was delighted to be with you.
And I wish you a very happy Eid.
Happy Eid to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of this edition of Women's World. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a very happy and blessed Eid.